tutorials, culture, and double standards. The double standards side of things is something that Zero, Alex from Singapore, specifically brought up, saying that there's a very blatant bias against Melbourne and Asia that he wants to elaborate on. So I think that's kind of where that comes in. But yeah, the tutorials and just shuffle culture and stuff in general. I mean, you've had plenty of people asking you about battles since that video I posted. You've had so many people come to you.
Which
I already know.
I've spent the last 20 years never thinking about battles.
Yeah.
And then it's like
oh, it's
thanks.
Made it such a big
I'm
deal.
gonna have to start battling people.
Hey, you did win a shuffle battle when we had them, but that was the thing though.
I guess
we never took them seriously. It was such a joke. But you won a Slurpee. That was the grand prize for a shuffle battle for BigMilan. Was a cold soft drink.
That's it. That's it. That and my ego got even bigger.
You crushed a kid and and our mate that had trouble dancing on beat for a long time. So your competition was all right. No, that was all jokes. It was all fun.
In my defense, I did try to help him with the timing.
Yeah, I think he's got there now in the end. He's got
definitely. Yeah. That was like 10 or more years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really bad. Oh, man, no, I've been reflecting a lot lately on like it's the age is starting to set in, and like you always looked at me as like the youngest because I pretty much was the youngest in the Melbourne scene.
Yeah.
me and Angelo.
I'm turning 40 in like a week. And yeah, I mean, time flies. Time flies.
Bad.
I've been shuffling now for about 21 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's longer than you've been alive, right?
What?
You were saying I was treating you like a young kid.
Yeah, literally though. It's pretty much it's basically how I've been looked at the whole time. Like, yeah, yourself turning 40. Most of my friends in the scene are over the age of 35, I think, and I'm 29. So it's a big difference. That's why I was saying. I think in the last call, it's weird for me when people call me OG because that's not at all what I would have considered myself.
Even me, I mean, I look at it the same way because I started like around 2003. And I mean, there were people doing it like at least 10 years before that. One of my friends who was in the same class as him in high school, all of high school, I start going out and I see him and it's like, why are you so good? And he's been going to all those underage discos and things for like years before I ever started going out. So he had several years head start on me. So even I feel like I'm not OG because there's guys so much before me. Like, yeah, there's guys I've never even met or heard of that were there before me.
Yeah, that's always the weird part.
I can't deny I've been doing it for half my life. So,
and that's the same point I think I've argued with Amos, is that like the old school Melbourne shuffle.
Is he older or younger?
He's older. He's from the 90s, but he's always he's basically got the opinion that anyone that includes the running man in their shuffle isn't shuffling, and like he's one of those old school purist types. But like even with him like talking down to me and belittling me for the fact that I started in 2007, I was like, bro, I was 12 years old. I am now 29, right? That's more than half my life now. I've been doing this dance. So, over 15, 16 years might not seem much to this guy from the 90s, but that's half my fucking lifetime.
And look, frankly, not that, I don't want to, I don't even know where to start, but guys like that, they're all like, oh, you guys are doing some other dance and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, first of all, I actually mainly do the shuffle. I'll only do the running man a little bit, but 80% of what I do is the shuffle.
Yeah, I feel the same.
And those guys who are saying that, oh, you guys aren't really shuffling, but like I mostly am, and I'm so much better than you objectively. So if you're gonna tell me I'm not really shuffling, maybe do it better than me first. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but I have met people like that who say like, you're not really shuffling. Well, I get it. I do more moves, but I am shuffling. It's just, I've got a bunch of other moves I do.
Yeah, so the thing too with a lot of the confusion, I think, with the newer styles now and this hybrid shuffle shapes stuff, is that they've blurred the lines so much that they're arguing they're still shuffling when like more than 50% of their run they're not. And we've talked about that a few times, but I think it'd be interesting hearing your take on it.
Okay. Well, look, it's my take on that. None of us own the shuffle. We're not the, we don't have the ultimate authority to decide what's, got what name. But so things change. Everything changes. Language changes. I guess dancing is like a language of sorts. And things change. That's just how it is. Like, think of all the people cutting shapes as like using some kind of dirty slang, and we are the snobs, and they're doing it wrong. But you can't, you can't stop it. It's just it's just how it is. But at some point, it's like if you pick up a few, let's say, compare it to English, a few words come from French, a few words come from German, whatever, right? But if you're speaking 70% German, well, you're not speaking English.
Exactly. Precisely the point we tried to make.
At some point, and I don't know where that point is, but at some point, like, well, why are you calling it the shuffle if it's mainly something else?
Yeah, they should be going to all styles.
Call it whatever you want.
Like, those big open like dance tournaments where you've got all styles of dance. If they want to be mixing and matching all these different like crumping and street dances, then I feel like there's settings for
it. I was going to say, okay, you just made a very good point. I was going to say I'm all for people doing all kinds of dance, but you mentioned crumping. No, that should be illegal. I'm not for it. I barely even know what crumping is, but it just sounds ugly. Is it? No, crumping. Isn't that thing where they're just kind of waving their arms like gorillas? It just kind of looks threatening, right? Is that it?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. See, I'm not
saying yeah.
I'm not about that. I'm not about that life, fam. I don't talk like that. Just.
Yeah, no, I feel you though. I do feel a lot of the same. I tried to explain this again on a past call, I think, about the fact that it's just not that I don't have that type of energy, like that type of vibe you would get at a street dance thing where they were turning up for their friend doing like a really random trick that has nothing to do with the actual quoted like style of the tournament. They call it a shuffle tournament, and then they're doing like something completely unrelated. Sure, it might look cool, but it's kind of out of place. And then the rest of their run ends up being like mostly hip hop or something else that's completely away from shuffling. So I'm just not. And the whole crowd turning up and shit, we don't get like that. We don't do shuffle circles at events. We just
it's just not a thing.
Together. We just don't do that. We don't care about personal spotlights. We're there for the music. We're there for the DJ. It's not about the dancers. Like I don't know where they get this.
Well, I went to a rave here in October, and I got there. Like I was one of the first people in, and I just found a nice little slippery patch on the ground. Like it used to be a factory, obviously, and there were some tiles in one little section. It must have been a toilet. And so I just danced on those tiles the whole night until I wore off the top layer of the tile, and it just went down to that brick-looking layer. And I don't care. Like there were people I know that would come up to me and then they would go away. And I mean, I just had my little spot and I just danced there. It's not about competition. It's not about anything. It's just me and that DJ and the music and, just happiness. I don't understand competition. It's just not how I dance at all. It doesn't appeal to me. And if people want to compete, that's fine. I don't care. But often it ends in a fight, I think, or at least with the younger kids, because they can't handle it. I just don't get it. That's all. I don't have a particular opinion on it, but
yeah,
I don't promote it, I don't endorse it, and I don't get it. But if people want to do it, again, I'm not the police. Do what you want.
American competitive individualistic culture and money. Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, the
it's
money.
Big cultural differences and corporate greed.
The money leads to some. The money definitely. Look, the money I think leads to a lot of just low quality stuff. Just like a rush thing, because they're not really doing it for, I guess, the love of it. So it's just like a.
Well, so I guess in comparison, because I remember having the conversation years and years ago with you now, and I know that YouTube ad revenue and things of the like have kind of taken a big nosedive. So, how do you feel about influencers that are charging north of 400 US to teach, quote, the basics of Melbourne Shuffle or Melbourne Rocking when you've had...
How do we join this movement of ripping people off? I mean, we have all the skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, people are in different positions. I had the transport business, so I never needed any money. And I never did the dancing for the money. And even for the longest time, I didn't even want to be a YouTube partner because I didn't want to be driven by that at all. I didn't want that. I mean, in the end, money's money. So I did it. But no, I did it when YouTube started putting ads on your videos, regardless of whether you were a partner. And so I'm like, well, if they're going to do it anyway, I might as well make some money off it. So yeah, a little. I didn't make much, but a few thousand here and there.
Yeah, it was basically like the price of a camera, which you've already bought like 2 or 3 since you had the channel anyway.
Yeah. At one point it paid for a camera. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's not about the money, but then, some people need money more than I do. So you do what you can. If you've got a skill, you market it. But what do you mean charge 400 to teach the basics over how much time? That seems like a lot.
Yeah, it is pretty steep. I mean, there's even higher ones than that. We've got all the screenshots of these examples and things. I could probably flash them on the screen. But
I have been messing around with producing music and stuff just for fun. I've never finished anything, but I just love making beats. And at one point I thought, I'm pretty good, but I just need some direction from someone who actually knows how to do this stuff. So, D&D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was doing classes. I don't know if he still does, and he was teaching people. But this would be, one-on-one, and it would be something like, I think it was, I don't remember, but let's say $50 an hour, which is fair. And I'd go there for 2 hours or something, and once a week. But this is a lot of new things I learned from him. And over the months, I probably paid him, maybe $1,000 or something. But I did learn a lot. But shuffling, like that's what I'm saying. How are they teaching? If it's one-on-one, I get it that you might charge a fair bit because it's just you and one person, and you have some hourly rate. But if it's you and like 10 other students, you're teaching 10 students, well,
no,
you just charge each of them like.
It's prepackaged. It's prepackaged content. It's not even one-on-one. You're paying for like a 400 something US package of tutorials, essentially things you had
Just
online.
videos?
Just videos.
Get out of here.
And negligible ones too, like not even
Come
going
on.
into detail really. And that's why I was asking you, because you're probably still the biggest tutorial viewed shuffler in the world still to this day. You were back then, and I think you still now.
I've actually I saw some of those videos recently, and I really going to remake them. They're such poor quality.
Oh yeah,
because just YouTube was like that at the time, like the frame rate and the megapixels.
Yours still turned out better than most of the others that were available at the time. Like most of them were shockingly bad, like 15 FPS.
Yeah. Look, anyway. Wow. So he's not. So they're not even like teaching people; they're just sending them some videos.
So some of them will have options where you can pay for like a one-on-one session where it's like north of 100 or something. But
honestly, that should be like $5. That's what they should be charging. That's what I think. $5 or $10. Okay, I've made these 20 videos. It'll teach you all the basics.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 2 hours of content. It's yours for $5. And you just got to sell that.
Yeah. Some of them
to a lot of people
saying that they're selling 200 different tutorials and it's got a price of $2,000, but you're paying for a monthly subscription.
I don't know. But again, look, each to their own, and in a free marketplace, things that are good will succeed, and things that aren't good won't.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you're charging $2,000, Jesus, like you won't sell many.
Yeah. I think it's more just pricing it at that, and then it was like the price of $2,000 for this amount per month. It was like a subscription, like valuing his content at $2,000.
I don't know. You should be free to charge whatever you want, and if people want to pay it, well, good for you. But
yeah,
I think that's a bit steep.
Paddock bomb with sawdust.
People have always asked me, how do you make money from dancing? I don't. I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you would go about it. I don't want to make money from shuffling. Like, there are cases like where Pae and Sarah, when they got flown to Europe by Scooter, and they went to those, they were shuffling for him on stage, and they were in his video clip, J'adore Hardcore. Look it up. But yeah, that's one way. That doesn't come very often. How many people have shufflers in their video? So if you can get a few of those jobs, that's fantastic. You can make some quick money, but I don't see how you would regularly get like that.
Yeah, it's not really a sustainable thing. It's kind of when artists use shufflers, it's like a once-off thing usually. It's pretty rare that they'll continuously use shufflers for music videos.
Yeah. But you could charge a few bucks here and there for little things, like if you had merchandise or something, I suppose, like hats or like the PhD jumpers. I have a couple of them. Some people have like 20. Like if you were a famous dancer, I suppose you could do little things like that. But I really don't see how you could properly make money out of dancing. It's not. But maybe I'm just not looking at it right, because personally, like I said, I just love dancing. That's it. That's why I dance. I love dancing. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for recognition. I don't do it for, status. If you win this battle or that, I just dance.
So your question is like about a studio setting, right? Like, what is it like?
I can do this. Right? Hey, it's me.
Yeah. So with regards to that, I mean, dance studios here in America, they have multiple classes a week for like all kinds of styles. So usually like rent out a time slot for a teacher, like they want to teach shuffling. We've gone to a couple. So the first like couple times, just kind of feel it out. Basically, like pay like around $10 to $15. You go in there. There's a big mirror. It's a nice air conditioned room, and then the dance teacher's at the front, and then everyone's kind of like staggered in rows behind them, and they start teaching. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while. So go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying before, the person charging $400 and thousands of dollars. I thought that's what Brandon was saying, that they were charging like $400 a class, perhaps. Which I understand if you're teaching a class, it's like $10. That's fine. But, you walk in, you pay a few bucks, and it pays for the renting out the location and all that stuff. So that's fine. I totally understand that. But yeah.
I think what
thousands of dollars just for some videos. Jesus.
Yeah, that's like more like online courses. That's like what he's talking about, like in-person classes. I mean, depending on how quote unquote big the person is, like in their social media following, sometimes I can see upwards of to like 35, 40. I mean, I see that in other dance styles as well. To kind of want that star presence, so to speak. Like, oh God, this guy's famous, so it must be good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean like they can always teach. I mean, first couple classes I went to was like basics, and then the last class I went to, they were teaching rocking, quote unquote. So it's probably what we're going to talk about today. But yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. Look, I guess it's not that hard, I guess, to teach the basics, because it's just a few simple things. The mirror does help. The mirror really does help, especially.
Of course, yeah.
Not so much at the very start, a little bit, yes, but I think the mirror will definitely help. Like once you're sort of in the intermediate stage, when you're able to do it without thinking about it too much. But and it kind of goes back to what I said before. It sounds like, when you put money into it, you just end up with rushed, low quality content sometimes. But it's better to have, like with me, it's low quality content, but I'm not charging anything for it. So as long as, low quality in terms of like production value, it's just me talking. Again, each to his own. The free market, you do what you want, and if you have a good product, then it will do well. But I do think charging thousands for basically like a USB worth of videos just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, you could argue that like they, depending on how professionally shot the videos, they rent out a studio, all the lights, and the like high quality camera, and the edit the footage. If it's a high production value, okay. But I mean, I won't know that until I pay the big gosh to see it.
Well, are there screenshots and sample footage? I don't know.
Well, that's kind of
market things.
Reaching out to people, because I've had a few people message me saying that they've paid for so-and-so's tutorials and they didn't learn barely anything, or they went to so-and-so's class and they didn't learn anything. And it's like, well, we kind of want to provide a review service eventually. Actually show people, like, you got a paid product, I'm sure we can review it. So see how that fares.
With that, also you can't go in expecting to learn something just because you watched it. Like shuffling, as physical as it is 90% practice.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have, like, say, my video where it's the shuffle basics, part of the reason why so many people, it got so many views, is because most people watched it like 10 times. Because you'd watch it and then, you'd practice, and then maybe a day or two, you'd watch it again to brush up and then practice again. And so, if you just fly through all that footage that the guy might have sold you and you say, I didn't learn anything, well, you're going to give it a chance too, because you need to practice a lot. Like I can watch a video about how to do cartwheels. That doesn't mean I'll be able to do cartwheels.
People's experience just watching your tutorials and practicing was like, why don't I look like this guy? And
look,
you'd been doing it for
I kept saying it
or something.
Yeah, I kept saying it. You just you have to keep practicing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep practicing that. But luckily, it's so fun to practice.
On that note, do you recall, this was a long time ago now, like over 10 years now?
But I recall everything. I've never forgotten anything in my life.
Yeah, sober soldier over here.
You guys heard of Pae? You guys heard of BigMilan?
On that note, what were you meant to be talking about on the Shaboogen Show? Because that was like one of the biggest cliffhangers that the scene ever had. Yeah, so you were planned. It was you, Pae, Mickey, and maybe a couple other people, but those names were dropped. And like you're still on the video as like an upcoming guest on the Shaboogen Show. That was with We Dance Hard, Len, and Shaboogen.
So
and Hilty.
I hadn't done the show. I haven't done it.
No, it was planned.
But yeah, I know. But I've done a lot of things, and I've agreed to do a lot of things. But if they didn't happen, I don't have a memory of it, and I've agreed to do a million things like this.
Yeah.
If someone wants to talk to me, as long as I have the time for it, I will talk. But because I wasn't on the show, I can't. It was so long ago. I'm not sure if I had a conversation about possibly doing it or what that would have been about. It feels from in here, it feels like totally news to me that I should have been on the Shaboogen Show.
Yeah. It was like that for most people. I mean, the same thing with my documentary. Like most people don't even remember doing their interviews. Like your interview, you said that you're turning 40 something now. Like at the time, you were just turning 30. There was like I think I sent it to you, and I was
There's no rush.
Laughing.
There's no rush.
You were.
There's no rush. There's no rush
at all. Because you were 29, and I was laughing watching it back because you say that, and I was like, I'm 29 now. Fuck.
Yeah.
I thought like,
and I'm 39 now.
So much older than the rest of us because we were pretty much underage. Like there was, we were like 17, turning 18. No, we never had any like OG or overage shufflers come to a meetup, and then you were the first person to do that. That was like a special event for us.
Well, kind of for me too. I mean, in a way, because I never went to any meetups because I went to the nightclubs, and then when finally people at the nightclubs found out I wasn't cool, I thought I better go impress some kids, right? And, well, yeah, once I got to know a few of you, I guess you just brought me along. But that and plus, I always worked so much. There was no time to go to meetups. I went to nightclubs because, it was after 10 p.m. when I finished work. The few I went to were a lot of fun.
You set the standard from there on, and we started getting more people come out. But by that point, we were a bit older anyway. Like we'd hit age to start go clubbing, and we met everyone through that. But after that, we had
that's what I'm saying. That's how I ended up.
It was good.
Yeah,
good times.
When Amos is like, "Oh, if you do the Running Man, you're not shuffling, right?" And you said, "Okay, well, at 10:50, I mostly am." But then seeing some of your videos where it's like, and you espouse this opinion earlier, where it's like, okay, well, today, what people call a shuffle, they're technically, you would say that they're not doing it primarily, right? And then those same people will turn around and say, "Oh, you're being like a purist," kind of like how we would say Amos is like a purist, like that type of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it's not the same thing because I'm not gay.
Yeah. Are you sure, Milan?
No. Well, I mean, I've got so much evidence that I'm not, but I can't be sure. You can never be 100% sure of anything. You can never talk in absolutes. No. Look, no, I'm definitely not a purist in any way. I am constantly learning new moves. Well, I'm trying to. I'm always open to learning new dance moves, and I'll do it myself. And look, I like to do the moonwalk a lot. And I mean, come on, it's the moonwalk. It's not shuffling. It's Michael Jackson. And I love it. I love doing it. I think I've broken my toes numerous times because I just do it too much. But I'm still shuffling. It's just that once an hour I'll moonwalk, but I'm not going to go moonwalking up and down the stage for an hour and call it shuffling.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no purist. I don't look. You're free to do whatever you want. You can call it whatever you want, but at some point, it just doesn't make sense to call it shuffling. At one point, when all the Instagram stuff started happening, like whatever, 10 years ago, let's say 10 years ago, all these people were just doing this little hopping thing, hop, 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 hop. And they were just hopping. And they were just trying to ride the shuffle wave. And it's like, yes, I'm shuffling. Well, you're not. You're hopping. You're tiptoeing. I don't want to come across as some kind of purist, but come on. Like at some point, you're just not shuffling.
It's a bit different. Like in the case of Amos, this is an old head saying that they're not shuffling because they've added a move that's been established in the dance for over 20-something years now, and he does it himself, just poorly. So I think in Amos's case, it is a bit different, and in our case especially, I think it's like one thing for us to be saying, "Oh, they're not shuffling," and I don't think many people say that anymore. Anyway, like. In reality, that in the sense, I don't think we're just saying that they're not shuffling. More so, in my case, I say they're not rocking, because they will market, sell you a product saying that this is rocking and this weird figure 8 choreographed like microbouncing, which is what they call it now, which is just hopping. They're just hopping in a figure 8 and calling it rocking, and they're saying none of the origins. They're saying none of
You will send me a video of this later.
Yeah, I'll send it for sure. But it's just mind blowing stuff. And so Pae Sarah obviously didn't create rocking, but they were basically the pioneers for what the style went on to look like and why everyone kind of dances like them. So that was actually something I wanted to actually elaborate a little bit more on. I guess touching on the Shaboogen Show is something that was discussed at the time of the Shaboogen Show was that is rocking dead? And that was back in 2013. So they said, yeah, rocking was dead at the time just because the numbers had completely dwindled and the scene was on its way out until it sort of resurged a little bit and rocking took off overseas. But after it was around 2016-ish or something, overseas, rocking just completely started to warp and change directions from what it actually was. And a lot of the people that went on to make these rocking tutorials that have no basis based on what we did, they just kept pumping them out and never saying as to where they learnt it from, who did certain moves, blah blah blah. Like all you had to tell your students was, I saw it on this video from We Dance Hard, or I saw it from watching people at PhD, or I saw it at so and so. Like it is that simple to provide the source information of what you're teaching, but they never do. So that's where these issues have come in. We're not being purists about what's rocking or what's shuffling or blah blah blah. We're just like, if you're going to use the terminologies, use them correctly. I'm not well versed in hip hop, so I'm sure as hell not going to just start busting some fucking hip hop moves I learnt in a few minutes and saying, "Hey guys, I'm hip hopping." No way in hell. I didn't even say I was shuffling for years because I felt that I wasn't at the level where I was like comfortable enough to say, yeah, I can shuffle, because I fucking couldn't. I was terrible at shuffling for years and years and years until I met people in person that were able to help me drill the fucking mistakes out that I was doing, that I didn't have anyone around me to correct for ages. So I feel like it's pretty simple. We're not purists.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You're just kind of like wanting a clear definition rather than or to clear up the definition, so to speak, rather than
I think like
trying to police
rocking.
sake.
Yeah, it's not like policing things. It's just rocking is pretty well established as to what the hell it even is and what it looks like and who did it. What moves made rocking, like where the fucking word came from. So for the longest time, rocking wasn't even considered like a shuffle style. It was just, another word for the dance, as most people from Melbourne know, and some people around the world know that. But yeah, I wanted to get Milan specifically to elaborate more on like rocking. Like, how did we get here? Because you're like really good friends with Pae, and he's practically the rock father.
Yeah. The rock father. Well, I mean, to me, rocking is just like when you're in the zone and you're just dancing really good. You're just rocking.
Out. You're just having a rocking out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. I mean,
but I say like
don't really have much to say about that.
Well, these days, so it's not so much just that anymore.
Yeah, because I don't. Because these days I don't know. I'm not in the loop anymore. I mean, I'm just.
So identifiably, Angelo dances similar to Matt, Pae, Hiltzy. Like we all kind of dance that similar style. So that has been described modern day as rocking. So like Pae's style itself is essentially what rocking is, the essence of rocking. So for them to see it get warped into these other directions.
I did, to go back to exactly what I said, I did say, to me, rocking is just when you're dancing really good, which is quintessentially Pae. So
yeah,
it's just because he's good.
Yeah. Well, Samurai said, I don't know about others, but I always thought that rocking equals clubbing. And that's club style. It was essentially the name for it. That's kind of what we called it before. It was dancing. Rocking. But yeah, club style shuffle.
So maybe now
we had no room.
Maybe now being good is called rocking. I don't know. But people who aren't good aren't rocking. But yeah, I mean, yeah, really, for me, rocking was just like you are just really feeling it and you are dancing good. And you just feel it when you're dancing good. And I guess, if people have interpreted that as a dance style, well, they should get good. And there you go.
That's fair enough. He said, I think it also got more spotlight because of Newcastle Rockers. So Brenton, Splinter. People like Brenton and those sorts of styles.
I know I've seen them years ago, but now I can't remember. So, yeah, there were so many shuffle crews and things. I just couldn't keep up. And because I'm me, everyone just kept throwing videos at me. And like I've seen thousands of things and my brain has melted. I can't remember what label was used on everything. And
no, that's fair enough.
One thing I regret lately, I haven't been able to just make videos and upload them. And look, I've got a family now and stuff, so I've got not as much time. And I really want to again, but I've got to decide and then stick to it and put some energy back into YouTube. I miss talking to everyone and replying. I don't even know. Are people still having conversations in YouTube videos? Because that was like a big part of YouTube for me.
Some YouTube comments talk. I mean, I think our recent video was probably more active than most videos I see posted. in general on YouTube, but no one really uses it as a platform. We just don't have much of a choice.
Initially, that's why I loved YouTube, because I would put these videos out and people would ask me questions and I would answer them. And if you look under the videos, there's just thousands of comments and like 30% of them are me. He replied to people. So I really enjoyed just interacting with everyone. And it just changed now. So now you put up a video and there's like, no comments or anything. So it just feels different. But why am I talking about this? Who knows? But I miss having those interactions with everyone, basically.
Well, it's kind of the reason why we set up this, as well as the server itself, not just the talk, but like for people, for anyone, what's he said now? Yeah, Shuffle Crews in 2010 be like Pokemon gym badges. Yeah, it's true. Like a lot of people were collecting crews like Pokemon gym badges. I made the meme on Melbourne's Finest too. It's so true. If anyone can link like recent battle footage to kind of give him an idea of what it is, what he thinks. Or maybe I should just get up the TSL finals.
No, that's aerobatic. That's not.
I mean, we can finish it if you like, but gave them both a bit of a go. You're shaking your head, I think. So that's
I think I am.
the modern shuffle battle now. That's what's considered that's meant to be the pinnacle of the scene at the moment in terms of battles. People have looked at it as the biggest because they had like 20 countries in attendance.
Well, I mean, they're good dancers, but there's so much in there that's not shuffling.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the main thing that's being raised by quite a lot of people.
See much. Okay, well, there you go. I've never seen this video. I don't know what the discussion is.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't see much shuffling.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have got a bit of a different understanding of like what shuffling is. Like some people would consider T-step to be different to what we consider a T-step. He's just linked an American battle. I mean, I can get this up. He said the most recent shuffle tournament. He said, fundamentally speaking, if there's the pivoting motion, that's considered T-step. Yeah.
Can I change my opinion? Can I be a purist now? We're going to burn this scene to the ground and we just start again. Right? We've gone too far. See, look, I don't do battles. I don't judge battles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think I'm like I'm good, but I'm not like the best out there. I don't care how good I am. I'm just as good as I am because I've done it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't want to be like some guy. I don't want to come across as like some guy who's like, well, I'm the best, therefore, my opinion counts for something. But I just like I wonder if battles are like this now, where they're basically 60% not shuffling.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that way because it's a battle and they think they need to do like fancy stuff to win the battle, but then they do so much stuff that I mean, would they be dancing like that if they were just dancing in a nightclub?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Battles feel so forced to me. Just too labored.
It does, doesn't it? It's
yeah.
I understand the push to like want something to exist, but at what expense? Like we have established battle scenes globally that have done well for many years that have operated without any major controversies, like namely Russia and China, a couple of other European countries too. They've had pretty successful tournament scenes for quite a long time and without any real controversies, and people saying that they're not shuffling in this because it was, I think Samurai is just in the audience this time, but he said on the first call that when he went to Russia and judged a tournament there, that it was kind of like an unspoken rule that people knew what shuffling was and how long you would have to shuffle for in your run for it to still be shuffling. How many beats did you see them hit, really? I mean, that, granted, it was pretty fast.
Oh yeah. A lot of that.
Pretty fast track. It's sure, but when they're doing all this
there was so much
stuff, how much
there's
is
like
really
liquid? Yeah, there's like liquid and yeah. I mean, it just didn't feel like a shuffle battle.
No.
That's
where I get confused.
Yeah, there was definitely there was definitely, look, maybe, I don't know, I didn't time it.
There was some shuffling in it.
There might be like
more
30,
like an all
there was like 30% shuffling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really just felt like a dance battle.
Mm-hmm. Rather than a shuffle
which
battle.
Is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that when so Kevin said, from my experience at TSL, people are getting used to dance like that, not only in battles but in ciphers. And so, yeah, I think that this hybrid style of shuffle it's not really in its like infancy, but it's still like a toddler. It's probably like 3-4 years old. It's not been around for that long now, so who knows? It's probably going to be an established style in the coming years. Like it's happened multiple times in the past. Happened to Cali. It happened to even to hardstyle shuffling. People considering it not shuffling anymore, and then it went on to prove itself otherwise. So I guess it's a matter of time if we'll see what happens with this, if it's going to keep going.
I mean, this is the first time I've seen people shuffle like this.
And as you said,
I go out to a club.
Sent a lot of videos.
I go out. I do. Look, not so much lately. I've just kind of, like I said, for the past 5 years, I've been just busy with family life, and I haven't uploaded much. And even if you see a few videos, I did one with Angelo like a year ago, and we don't dance like this. And there was a guy who I used to see at clubs all the time 20 years ago, and he just randomly walks past us in the street and joined us in the clip. So that was like completely unplanned and random. Just, yeah. But when I go out in Melbourne and I see people dance, they don't dance like the guys in the videos we just watched. So this is actually completely new to me, seeing so much other stuff in there.
Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Even when I go on Instagram and I just watch a few shuffle videos, they don't dance like that.
Yeah,
this was like, I think everything, like I said,
it's still kind of emerging. It's still pretty young. We'll see where it goes, but it is like spreading as a style. It's getting picked up, as you saw in Spain. It's being spread around the world now, and we've got even some people in Canada and things. But we've said it a few times, like we'd like to see them try and dance like that to the same BPM music we've always danced to. You know, if you're trying to do that to 140 to 150 BPM, you're not hitting the beat, and identifiably that was a pretty fast track.
That's one thing I never understood about breakdancing. Half of the time it's like they're not even dancing to music.
They're just going crazy.
They're just spinning and doing all this stuff. And it's like, okay, but aren't you following a beat at all?
Yeah, like
it's cool what you're doing.
We're pretty vanilla. We're pretty basic with our shuffling. I think we're not like we're not crazy and out there. And you've had many of comments over the years. How many times did you have people asking you like, but how can I do harder? Like, how can I do a harder Running Man? Like, it's like, your tutorials are great, but how can I go harder? It's like, bro, chill out.
Yeah, just one step at a time. Practice more. So you've
they're claiming
I've
this to
just
be evolution.
learned some things.
Would you consider that evolution, or would you?
Well, look,
think it's just
I've
grafting
learned
something
some.
else
Look,
on?
I've learned some things today, which I'm going to do my best to forget. And evolution. Yeah, sure. Sure. I mean, new people, even old people, learn new moves. Would I consider evolution? I don't like applying the word evolution to dance because I think of evolution like literally like the evolution of species.
Mm-hmm.
And the evolution of a dance doesn't work that way. Maybe you still call it evolution. It just rubs me the wrong way. But that's fine. Would I, just because I think of it more in a kind of biology terms, evolution of the dance. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, I would say this is some kind of evolution of a dance, but much like in the evolution of species, it could die out pretty good, but it might not. And
well,
I'm not here to say what it should do. I am quite surprised by what I just saw.
I think,
Sure?
yeah, Party Rock Anthem's probably still the most viewed, like, quote, shuffle video on the internet ever. And no one does that. It's fucking been gone for a long time. So, yeah, like you said, some of these things will spring up, but they don't necessarily stick around for too long. And that's not to say that, like, say being salty, being like, because Melbourne's gone. Well, Melbourne's never truly gone. It just goes back underground again. Just because you don't see it posted online doesn't mean it's not happening. People are dancing in greater numbers now.
People were at the time, people were salty at me for putting up those tutorials because they were saying the shuffle should be underground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and look, people are coming up to me asking me how to dance, and I can't teach them on the spot. So here, watch this video, and then it just happened to go ballistic. But I just made it so I could tell people, watch these videos and just let me dance, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm kind of guilty of part of that evolution or something. But it is what it is. None of us own it. It's just out there. And but yeah, I am surprised at how much not shuffling was in those shuffle competitions.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's so many moves. You know, you could be completely purist and say only the T-step is shuffling and nothing else. But, you know, you're going to do some kicks, you're going to do some spins, and so forth. But if all you do is just spin in a circle for about, 16 beats or something, well, you're just spinning in a circle now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are just spinning in a circle, and that's
kicks and spins and slides, glides, all these things we've used over the years have their place. You don't do them for the
it's
16
like a little
beats.
It's like a little it's like a little flourish.
You'll do it on the 8th, or you'll do it on the 16th, or the 4th. Like, you'll do variations, but you're not going to be doing it for every beat. Just repeating the same step. It's a bit strange.
Yep.
distance.